And England cricket head coach, white ball head coach Matt Mott says he doesn't know why their Cricket World Cup defence has gone so poorly. The 8-wicket defeat to Sri Lanka yesterday was a fourth loss in 5 group games. And just on that cricket yesterday, if you haven't seen it, England needed basically to win 5 games from 5 to have any chance of coming top 4. Won the toss, chose to bat, 156 all out. Another pathetic, weak, unsure batting display from England, and Sri Lanka chased it down with ease, winning by 8 wickets, 160 for 2. Nissanka and Samarik Rama scored half centuries, 25 overs still left in the innings for Sri Lanka. So a mess of a defence for England. And after our latest defeat, Andy Jacobs, well, he had his say on H&J.
Things that should happen after the worst performance by any England team in the history of organised sport. Number 1, come home immediately.
They can't
Number
do
2,
that. That's the part of the game. If you want to punish them, make them stay for 2 weeks and have,
No, they've got to come home immediately.
Okay.
Number 2, fire the coach tonight.
Right.
Number 3, strip Butler of the captaincy and make him pay back the money from his contract. Number 4, withdraw from all future World Cups and play minor tournaments with Denmark and Borneo. Number 5, enter the European T10 League. Number 6, write a personal apology to every cricket fan in England. Number 7, arrange 16 sets of stocks and a large supply of rotten fruit at Heathrow when the team return. That's my 7-point plan.
Stocks. So you're not going to be there with a banner in hand, like welcome home, all the ticker tape, no?
Yeah, I feel I'm gutted as well. I mean, Sam Stevens is joining me in the studio now to do the back pages. I think there's a lot of cricket in there, and some. I mean, the one in the mail, Sam, is the one that's caught my eye. Brainless, spineless, useless is their headline.
Oh, I mean, that's not exactly praiseworthy.
Other than that, they were great,
Other than that, yeah, brilliant. Now, Sam, we should probably talk about what you think the outcome of this tournament is going to be now, because this has been an absolutely disastrous defence of the trophy from England, hasn't it, really? Both with the bat and with the ball, I think it's fair to say. Mike Atherton with a very sort of scathing but very measured response in the Times this morning as well, as he often does. But what do you think is going to happen now? Do you think that we will be looking at captaincy change, coaching change, or a bit of both? What do you reckon?
I think in 50-over cricket, there's going to be a lot of changes. The next 50-over World Cup is going to be in 4 years' time. A lot of this team, Sam, a good bulk of this team are into their 30s. And I think, like they did in 2015, when we got knocked out, in similar fashion to this, where we were just not good enough. They changed everything. They changed the approach. They changed some of the faces. So I even think if England won this World Cup in 50-over cricket and we won every single game, I think there was always going to be changes. So yeah, in terms of personnel, I think we're going to see the vast majority of this team. I mean, off the top of my head, looking at the 11 that played yesterday, maybe Root, honestly, genuinely, maybe Root and Butler could be the only two that play in the next 50-over World Cup. So I think we'll see a lot of young players start being phased in. There is a T20 World Cup early next year. I don't think we're going to see wholesale changes for that. Let's remember. I think one thing I think is important to say here, and I want to say this because I like this group of lads. So normally in football, when we get bombed out of the World Cup, normally, maybe not so much in the last couple of years, the players are rubbish, the players are pathetic, they don't care, they're not good enough. I think I want to say with this group of lads, they've given us some of the best times we've ever had as a white ball team in the last 6-7 years. We won the World Cup in 2019, playing some of the best cricket ever. We won the T20 World Cup last year. We're the only team ever, Sam, in the history of cricket to have 2 World Cups, 50 over in T20, to be the holders at the same time. So this is a group of lads that have done well and been successful. And it's normally so easy to be wise after the event and say, we should have picked this player, we should have picked this player. They picked the right 15. The right 15 players are out there. First game of the World Cup against New Zealand, they picked the right 11. People can talk about the lack of preparation and, they should have played more here, they should have played more here. Why hasn't Jury played this amount of 50-over cricket? You go through India, who are smashing it all over the park at the moment. Virat Kohli hasn't played much 50-over cricket. It's kind of just part and parcel now of cricket, where you play the majority T20 cricket, and then when you play 50-over cricket, you just pick it up as you go along. So I just think it's a simple case of these guys going out there. They've been seriously good, seriously consistent for us, and it's maybe just one step too far. It is a good bunch of players who, unfortunately, too many of them, Sam, are out of form. So to answer your question, there'll be changes in 50-over cricket because it's an old team. But in terms of T20 cricket and that World Cup, I think Joss Butler and Matt Mott were the captain and head coach that won at the T20 World Cup last year, and I think they deserve the opportunity to go to the Caribbean next year and
Oh,
to
you think
defend
so?
it.
You think it should both still be in?
Yeah, I want to
position?
see Butler as captain and Matt Moore as head coach going into the T20 World Cup next year. Yeah, 50 over in 4 years. I don't know. I'm not sure if Butler will want to do it in 4 years' time, because in 4 years' time, if I look at how well Butler is here, but I just think in T20 cricket, we won the T20 World Cup.
33, according to this report.
33. So
Yeah.
there we go. 33 years of age. Is Butler at 37 going to want to be the captain? I'm not so sure. So 50 over, I don't know. I like the idea because we have got so many good young players: Will Jacks, Ben Duckett, Zach Crawley, Harry Brook, Jamie Smith. There really is an exciting array of young, certainly batsmen coming through. But yeah, to answer your question, I want to see them both go to the T20 World Cup.
Apparently, it's only the second time that with the whole 11 basically has been over 30.
Well, there we go.
So there you go.
And how often does that happen in any sport? You say it is quite incredible. But they've been so good, and it's always felt like an end of an era. And I just think it's a real shame, Sam, that a group of guys that have done so many great things to this country have just looked so badly out of form. I mean, that top five. Bairstow, Milan, Root, Stokes, Butler. They played Brook in the last game. That is on paper a world-class top six. I don't think anybody could have predicted that they stink the place out as badly as they have. And it's been so unlucky that so many of them. And as that Butler hasn't, he hasn't covered himself in. He's been out for himself, and he's got some things wrong clearly. But I mean, as a captain, it's pretty unlucky to have that many top-class players in your top six that can't buy a run. So, I just think that it's one of those things, maybe one tournament too much for the players. Too many players out of form. And unfortunately, while it's not mathematically confirmed yet, it's going to be the end of an era, Sam, and the end of the tournament.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.